When it comes to feeding your newborn baby, the consensus among World Health experts is that breast milk is the gold standard.
It's free, it is readily available, it is the perfect temperature, and it's the ideal nutrition for that particular baby.
Numerous studies have shown that babies who are breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months have fewer ear infections, respiratory illnesses, and diarrhea. They also have less of a chance of developing allergies. Moms who breastfeed benefit too. They recover from childbirth quicker and are less likely to develop breast and ovarian cancer later in life. In 1981, the World Health Assembly adopted what's called the WHO Code to promote breastfeeding and restrict the marketing of breast milk substitutes to new mothers to ensure they aren't being misled and discouraged from breastfeeding.
It's not a legally binding document, but the expectation is that manufacturers, as well as healthcare providers, are following these very specific regulations and guidelines.
A majority of hospitals in the U.S. used to give out free formula. Now, only roughly 30% of them do. In 1971, only 25% of new American moms breastfed their infants. By 2016, it had ballooned to more than 80%. Breast is best is now the mantra, and because of that, it came as a shock to many that the United States reportedly tried to water down a resolution promoting breastfeeding at the World Health Assembly in Geneva this spring.
According to the New York Times, the U.S. delegation tried unsuccessfully to remove some wording in the resolution that calls on member states to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding and limit the marketing of formula.
The report suggested the Trump administration was putting the interests of formula companies ahead of babies. Trump denied the accusations in a tweet saying the U.S. strongly supports breastfeeding, but we don't believe women should be denied access to formula. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services said it was concerned about stigmatizing women who cannot or choose not to breastfeed. The consequences of formula use in the United States are minimal compared to developing countries, the industry's fastest growing market. Women in poorer countries are often falsely led to believe formula is better or as good as breast milk. Some are also ill-informed on how to use it. Because formula is expensive, some moms dilute it. When the water is tainted, it can lead to deaths. In the U.S., 80% of women start off breastfeeding, but by 6 months, the number drops to 50%. That's in large part because there is no federally mandated paid parental leave in the United States.
It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done.
Kate Canova was back at work 12 weeks after giving birth to her son John. She was determined to maintain her breastfeeding regimen.
I've pumped in clients' offices, in their lactation rooms, which is really like a cleaning supply closet with boxes stacked to the ceiling, and you're crammed and you're standing up and you're holding the pump in your arms because there's no table and there's no sink and there's no chair.
Canova says a big problem is many employers don't fully understand what it means to be a working breastfeeding mother.
I've always said that breastfeeding is the most natural thing in the world, but it does not come naturally to baby or to mom, and it most certainly does not come naturally to everyone around mom, not in the workplace.
Karina Huber, CGTN, New York.